I want to talk to you today about why I think daily planning is the one habit I wouldn't give up. I'm not a big long-term planner, but what I do rely on is sitting down every day and working out what my day is going to look like. And I can do it on a piece of paper, I can do it in a notebook, you do it on the back of an envelope or on a Post-it. It doesn't have to take a certain format, but I want to share with you today the format that I use in case you find it helpful in your own planning. My first step is to check my energy levels. There are days when I feel like I could take on anything on my list. And then there are days when I can take on none of it, frankly. And it's useful to know that before you start planning your day, before you put down on paper the things you want to accomplish, because there's no sense in giving yourself this false hope or this pressure to get things done when you can't do it. And on the days that you have more energy, it's useful to know that because maybe you can fit a few more things in than you normally would. There are some people who say, oh, limit yourself to 2 or 3 things in a day. And I always think those people must not have families or other responsibilities because there are so many things that I need to do in a day. Some of them are small, a minute or 2, but they just need to get done. So we know now how much energy we have. It's time to move on to the next step, which is to check your calendar. Now, your calendar is where you hold all the things that you've agreed to, the things that need to happen at a certain time. And I make this the first step after checking my energy because if I need to cancel things, that's a priority. But otherwise, those things need to happen. There's not a lot of flexibility. They've already been set on the calendar for this day, for this time. So I do my planning on one piece of paper or one notebook page. And what I like to do, and other people have different methods for it, but what I like to do is put at the top the times and the things that need to happen. These are sort of the key milestones of the day, that things that I have to hit to usually keep other people happy. So now we've added our daily events at the top, and we have a bit of a sense of what shape our day is taking. The next step is to look at yesterday's to-do list and yesterday's calendar and figure out what didn't get done that still needs doing. This is a time when if you have tasks that don't quite feel urgent, you can move them off to a longer term to-do list if you have it, move them off somewhere else to keep track of them later, or maybe they just don't need to be done at all. And then it's also a time for the things that are still very much urgent to be moved up on your list. They didn't get done yesterday, so they quite likely have to get done today or in the next couple days. Now that we have yesterday's tasks rolled over, we know all the things that we have previously committed to. That's the past. It's almost like debt. It's the stuff that we have incurred in the past, and now we can move into what we want to do next, the future. And that's when I take a look at the tasks that I need to do today or want to do today. And I like to prioritize in different ways based on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'm prioritizing if I'm having a busy day when I need to get through a lot of things, but I have the energy to do it, I'll prioritize lots of little tasks that I can just check off quickly. Or if I have the mental energy for a big project, I'll prioritize that big project. Other times, when my energy is lower, I'll prioritize 1 or 2 kind of cozy, relaxed things that I can get done at a slower pace. Or I will prioritize self-care or things that give me inspiration or ideas. So prioritization can take a lot of forms, and maybe I'll do another video about different ways of prioritizing. But in this 4th step, it's really about what is feeling most urgent for you. What feels like it needs to get done? You might have things that have deadlines, and those are important to put on your list, but also consider what have you been mulling over? What feels like if you got it done, you would have really made progress, really accomplished something. Those are the things that I like to prioritize when I can. So now on my daily planning page, I have the time-bound tasks at the top, the things that came from my calendar. And then below that, I'm going to put the tasks. I use checkboxes. You may use another system, but I like to keep it easy, and I get a lot of satisfaction of marking that little check when I do things. I'm really reluctant to suggest that anyone add a daily habit. I have spent years trying to optimize my life and plan all of these habits and with habit trackers and things like that, and I'm just kind of over it. But one thing I'm not over is the daily planning routine I have. Now, some people do this at night. I like to do it in the morning. And it really only takes me, I think usually takes me 2 or 3 minutes. It can take 5 or 10 minutes if I'm dealing with a lot of projects, but really it's a very short process, but there's so much reward for it. So I hope these tips have been helpful, and I'd love to hear how you do daily planning. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.